Hey everybody, and welcome back to Ready Steady Play.
Good to see you all again. Well, you know, you can see us.
It's now time for more Legacy of Dragonholt. We've finally found a model to accompany Grom on his wanderers around the village to represent Hunter.
Yep. And isn't he just adorable?
I have an affinity for green. The bow is for camouflage while I'm in the wilderness.
And the hat?
Well, that's my pajamas because I'm sleepy.
Always
I find these towns very lethargic. I prefer the
that lethargic even. You fell over.
I prefer the wilderness where the excitement and adrenaline keeps me awake.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of any Hello Kitty based joke I can make, but I don't know the show nearly well enough to do that.
Yeah,
so
me either.
It's probably for the best.
So I need to go to somewhere. We need to go somewhere and find out how to get into Fairfax Manor.
Yeah,
we've only
got one amount of time passes before they stop admitting guests. So if we want to get something done today,
we've got 2 more time can pass, and then we can't get in.
No, one more.
Well, one more and we can still get in. If one more passes after that, we'll be barred.
Yeah, at which point there's no reason to really.
Although I don't know if it really matters. I don't know if it matters.
I don't know, but it's something. I mean, that's where we're supposed to be going, so it's working towards that. If we miss it, we miss it. But
I mean, I don't even. Yeah, I mean, maybe we should just go to the smithy and talk about the goblins.
Yeah, we can go to everywhere else later. I mean, the bars have clearly been a.
Well, I'm thinking we've basically gone... So we went to the village hall and found out about the smithy.
Yeah.
The village hall was the only sort of solid clue we had.
Then we went to all of the bars.
Well, they're all closed.
Well, no, one's open. It just doesn't do anything.
The Countess Inn. Yeah, there seemed to be a letter to deliver, but we didn't...
Have the letter.
Yeah. So I guess we should go to the smithy.
Okay. So
who's the active player currently?
You. That was your choice. So that's 5780. The book. So you're exhausted? Kind of. uh,
5780.
Where did all the treasure go?
Here.
Oh, I left one behind. Oops.
5780. Smithy. At the end of the market row stands a low building with a grey slate roof and a thick chimney. The smithy. The workshop portion of the building sports clapboard walls easily opened to
let in cooler air
when the furnace is in use. While a brownstone annex hosts what you presume are the living quarters, offices, storage, and other necessities of the smith's trade. A polished silver hammer hangs from a wrought iron signpost outside the front door, inscribed with Dunwar characters. A bronze plaque is set onto the wall with the same legend written in the common tongue, Fjord Brightmall, Smith.
So effectively, both the important things in this village involve dwarfs, of course. What was the thing?
7743.
7743. So we get to do something. It wasn't closed. Because what kind of smithy is closed in the morning?
Exactly. Alright, here we go.
Then again, I said the same thing about all of the taverns we visited.
A hot wind blows around you as you duck into the workshop. The roar of the furnace is punctuated by loud clanging and the in and out breathing of the bellows. If this is your first time visiting this location while it's open, read entry 5792.
5792.
Wow.
We are really powering through these.
Yep. Well, here we go. It's a long one.
Oh, God.
The young dwarf man on the bellows pauses in his exertions, mopping his brow with a rag and staring at you with frank curiosity. The clanging continues for a few moments more until the smith puts down her hammer and leans back on her padded stool. "What is it, Brill?" she calls.
The apprentice on the bellows points in your direction and the smith twists to glance at you.
"Ah, new customers. Come closer and let me have a look."
She lifts a glowing hot piece of metal from her anvil with the aid of sturdy tongs and plunges it into a bucket of water at her side, then pulls it back out and sets the quenched work in progress aside. The smith is a sturdily built woman, simply dressed in a light white shirt and heavy leather smock. Her auburn hair is pulled back from her face in a tight bun, and her only ornament is a bright silver necklace around her neck with a subtle purple sheen.
"Fjord Brightmall,"
she says as you approach.
"Hand me my crutch, will you?"
You find a small wooden crutch with a padded grip close by and offer it to her. She takes it, situates it under her left shoulder, and swings herself on her one good leg over the edge of the workshop, away from the heat. Her right leg moves stiffly to her side.
"I know what you're thinking,"
she says.
I must have some great story of battling a troll to a standstill to go with my injury, but I'm sad to say I was born like this. Sorry to disappoint.
She settles onto a carved wooden chair and lays her crutch to the side.
Welcome to my smithy. My apprentices and I can handle any work you need, or perhaps you'd like to browse my stock. I assure you, we Brightmoles are the finest smiths south of the Dunmore Mountains.
She grins and leans forward conspiratorially.
And, frankly, I'm better than most of those overproud duffers too.
4422. Tinge of annoyance because my family trade happens to be weaponsmithy and artificer. But, you know, they kicked me out, so meh.
You've offended my companion.
You've offended me because of the people that kicked me out of my home. Wait a minute.
Fior directs your attention to her stockroom, which is directly adjoining the workshop and filled with useful items. Trivets and nails, horseshoes of course, but also swords, daggers, coats of mail, and a vicious-looking warhammer, and a wide selection of other implements of the adventuring trade. Or I'm available for special commissions, of course.
She adds, idly fondling her silver necklace.
Well, Borath is. He's a journeyman. His rates are much more affordable than mine. Huh.
Do we want to purchase new equipment? Get her to forge a magical sword? Or ask if there's anything that we can do to help? I kind of think at least buy something here. But forging will pass time. There is no doubt of that.
Well, we can't forge because we don't have a war rune.
Ah, okay.
This requires money.
Which we have 100 gold.
We have 100 gold, but I just don't see what's the point of that. What if we need... Well...
We've not spent any money so far. I mean, the other thing to do is ask if there's anything to do to help, and that's...
I feel like we should do that first, and then if we have the opportunity, we can also purchase equipment.
To be fair, it's not likely she's going to run out of stuff tomorrow. Fair enough. 9888.
Well, I'm just worried that if we...
You're the active player, it's your choice.
If we buy stuff, then the encounter might end and we have to come back and then we're out of time.
Well, no, because no time passed on it, because you're just buying something.
Well, yeah, but...
Then again, listening to a story took all goddamn morning.
Mm-hmm.
9888.
You want to help?
Fiora asks, her eyebrows rising.
You understand that my apprentices actually pay me, right?
She reaches for a crutch and stands.
But I'm sure I could find something useful for you to do.
We don't have... okay, so 5281, because we don't have that. We don't have B1 marked. How do we not have... We know she's got a problem.
We saw her advert.
No, we got told about it in the village hall.
That's what I mean. It was on the notice board, wasn't it?
No, we got told about it by the guy behind the desk.
5821?
5281.
I'll tell you what would really help.
That one. She says, stomping towards a rack of shelves and papers.
There's a silver mine south of here, past the Willow Grove. I'd like to get it reopened, but there's a small goblin problem. You wouldn't know of any adventuring heroes who have some free time, would you?
We don't have enough fame for this, do we?
How much fame do we have? 3. We've got 3 fame.
Oh, we do? Oh, cool. Whew. 3 fame. Offer to clear out the silver mine. Requires 3 or more fame.
7417. I feel like we're getting distracted.
Really worried by that then. It's like, if there's yet another thing we can't do. Like, we're just nobodies. We're not even competent enough to go to our deaths.
7417?
7417. Fiora looks you up and down before she rummages through a shelf full of old papers and forgotten work requests. She crosses to a large table and unrolls an old map, yellowed with age, and delicately places weights on the side.
This is a map of the silver mines,
she says.
It's said to be the richest in the region, but it was abandoned during the war when all the workers were pressed into military service.
You nod, absorbing the information, and Fiora continues.
After the war, we discovered goblins had taken to living in the mines. With so many of our workers killed or injured in the war, we didn't have the forces to evict the squatters immediately. Now there are so many of them, there's not much we can do.
You inquire if there's anything else you'll need to know before you go, and Fiora nods grimly.
Here's where the rooster becomes the cockatrice.
She sighs.
We had the area scouted. The scout says there's one goblin who seems to be leading the others. A great big one, too.
She gestures to the main entrance to the mines.
The goblins have fortified the main entrance into the mine. No, the goblins have fortified the main path, but here...
She points to an emergency access tunnel.
...is well concealed. If the goblins know about it, they seem to give it only minimal attention. That's your route in.
You look at the mine, casting your eye along the twisting passages. The mine is a model of efficiency, with the vast majority of the mine dedicated to work, and only a few rooms set aside for alternate purposes. 2 words catch your eye. The pipe works, and the Blastworks. What are Pipeworks or Blastworks? Which one?
Why not start with Pipeworks?
Well, Blastworks sounds like a rune, because blast is a rune.
And Pipeworks sounds like that's where they make pipes. But, you know.
You're the active player.
Can we ask about both?
Probably.
5831.
5831. This is your encounter. Fiora explains.
When the mine was originally dug, the richest veins of ore intersected with a large underground river which kept the tunnels submerged. The mining engineers used a series of water wheels and Dunmore water screws to pull water from the lower levels up and out of the mine. The pipeworks themselves are a double safety system. But the backup is down here at the emergency dam. With how long the mine has been abandoned, the dam is likely holding back an entire river. That is, if it hasn't collapsed and flooded the heart of the mine. In any case, if the pipeworks aren't already running when you get down there, you should activate them if you can.
Activate Pipeworks.
To protect against flooding of the mine.
To avoid flooding.
976.
97. I'm on my
9796.
I'm on my next row. Okay.
9796.
Blastworks. This is going to be bad. All good.
Those areas are meant for storing and mixing blasting powder, an alchemical compound that was used to excavate large areas of solid rock. I know rooms like that had a fair number of safety features in place to keep the contents as stable as possible, but you never know how well something like that really works. Well, possibly one well trained in the alchemical arts might know, but I couldn't say for sure the one thing I can tell you for certain.
She stares at you, dead serious.
Leave your lantern outside the room.
She holds that piercing stare until you emphatically agree.
1534.
Anything else I need to know? 1534. Fiora nods.
Follow the southern road out the village past the Willow Grove. If you stay on that road, you can't miss the mine. And one last thing.
She looks at you seriously.
The mine has been abandoned for years. I highly doubt the goblins have improved things. Take care while you're down there and consider your actions well. It's a very unstable environment.
Fiora sighs.
But remember, we want the mine whole. It would cost the country a fortune to excavate the tunnels again. We'll pay you part of the reward up front to cover your expenses.
50 gold plus.
She drops a heavy gold pouch of gold coins on the table. You gain 50 gold. You'll get the rest of the reward after you've reclaimed the mine.
Says Fiora with a laugh. She claps you firmly on the back.
Don't let us down, eh? Don't let us down.
Mark story B1. Time passes. So now we're in the afternoon.
The encounter is complete.
Yep. So
now basically we have to get into Fairfax Manor or we can't go in today.
And we can't go in today, essentially.
Well, why don't we just go back there?
All right.
It might just be like, you know... I mean, it's the same thing, right? We're just going to get the same thing.
Yeah, it's the same skill check. And
have we picked up any extra letters?
B1. That was it.
That's it?
That's it.
No, we don't have any relevant.
Because all that's happened is we went to the bakery, 2 time passed. We went to the guard station, time passed. We got some heroism. And then we went to the smithy and got told.
If we go do this thing at Willow Grove, that's a whole nother document.
We'll just... Is it?
I'm pretty sure.
Well, it's 1790. It's in that book.
This is proper metagaming. Sliver of silver. I'm pretty sure it's going to tell us to go to this book. I mean, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that...
What else is there to do?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, I don't know.
We are lost.
Well, I mean, I'm quite happy to go and just get distracted by the goblin mission. I just feel bad for abandoning Celsi at the manor.
To be fair, she doesn't know we've arrived yet.
Yeah, but she said hurry, and we're here now. It seems...
Yeah, but we can't physically get through the door.
It just seems self-indulgent adventuring to wander off and go and murder goblins while our friend is calling for our support.
I write to you because something is sinister or require your assistance. I dare not say more openly. I can trust no one with this business. We're not let in. That's the problem. We can't get in there. I mean, the only other thing to do is go to other parts of the town and then more time's going to pass.
So do we think that going and doing the goblin thing will...
Well, the thing is, effectively, we can't get in there today. So it's just doing other stuff tonight. We know that the Drunken Hog's going to open this evening.
So do we wander off to the Willow Grove and do the goblin thing?
Might as well.
All right, let's do it.
1790. I love getting my way.
Hunter's like, finally we can leave town and murder things.
To be fair, Grom's pretty much that as well. That's the most depressing bit I've ever had to do.
The road leading south out of the village splits around a large grove of willow and oak trees. The villagers seem to treat the grove as a sort of park or meeting spot. There are almost always children playing among the trees or families enjoying the sun and the breeze.
If it's day 2, no. Otherwise,
1370.
1370. I have a feeling if we delayed on this, it would have flooded. I think that's the point, is it floods if you don't.
Maybe.
I have nothing to go on that.
The road, if a wagon track that is simply 2 ruts running through the grass can be called that, runs south out of Dragonholt and marches past the mill, visible in the distance as a leaning stone tower. Beyond the mill, hills pile atop one another, purpling with the distance as they reach towards the sky. Requires story point B is marked. This encounter is complete. Read entry 1009 in the Sliver of Silver quest book.
Yep.
So we're moving on to a different book. Yeah, I got too excited.
Shut up, Hello Kitty.
So,
I'm pretty sure we can not do that one again. I think we have to go, and if we stayed too much longer, it was going to flood. Because it's a mini quest book.
it's much like the one we've already done.
Yes. And that cost me dearly. So this time, you're doing the skill checks for combat. Okay, so 1009. Which should probably be the first one, because it's the only way to get in there. It is. Tracking sheets.
Each quest... Okay. You trek south away from the Willow Grove and Dragonholt. After an hour hike, you make your way down into a rocky fissure that branches away from the main road. The path soon leads over a stone bridge that crosses an underground river. A few buildings stand before the mine's entrance in various states of disrepair. The mine's main entrance is blocked by a makeshift set of double doors barred from the inside by a heavy wooden beam. You recall the map Fior showed you and follow the river's edge to a thicket of brambles. Sliding between the rock face of the ravine and the hazardous thorns, you come across a concealed tunnel you were told about. We should have bought fucking goods from her.
I told you.
Do you think we should just go back and buy the goods?
Really?
Well, she gave us 50 gold and said they're for supplies.
Yes, and we didn't take anything.
Should we go back for supplies?
Okay. I'd need to see the back of that book anyway to see what the time slots are.
Okay, interlude. Well, Ollie, you quickly make a note about those time slots. We're going to go back and visit the smithy again. In case there's something we need, like a sword.
Oh, it's just 1 to 8. But it's got its own other entries read. Right.
We noted down time had passed, right? So what are we on?
We're in 4. So this was at Smithy, it was at 4. And we'd not done anything.
So this introduction we've actually already read. At the end of the market row stands the smithy.
5 or less time has passed. 7743.
So this is the building with the clapboard walls. Polished silver hammer hangs up front. Done more characters. Fjord Brightmole smithy. 7743.
Which was a surprisingly long time ago.
What?
No, I'm just going to have to break the chain that we've done because we did 3 things there.
No. I mean, we can actually revisit this location after we got the quest and all sorted out.
Yeah, but when we buy something, it says go to page whatever.
Right. 7743, is that what we said?
7743.
A hot wind blows around you as you duck into the workshop. The roar of the furnace is punctuated by loud clanging and in and out breathing of bellows.
We don't have R5.
So 4422 we're going to now.
Yep.
So I think it's intended for you to sort of revisit and do this kind of thing. Because
probably intended for you to buy stuff first.
Yeah. Fjord directs your attention to her stockroom, which is directly adjoining. Yeah. So this is the bit where she's like, do you want to buy anything?
Yeah.
Do you want to forge any equipment? Blah, blah, blah. So we purchase new equipment. We each spend 25 gold.
So we're back to 100.
So we just gave her back the 50 she just gave us.
Yeah.
1856.
I swear if time passes.
It will.
Okay.
It's okay, it doesn't matter. Brill, why don't you lend a hand? Says Fior, and the young apprentice comes jogging over to escort you through to the stockroom. With his assistance, you sample the wide variety of bucklers, bracers, blades, and bludgeons, and make your selections, choosing a variety of new enhancements for your arsenal. Mark 3 progress in combat training.
Yep. So we're halfway through combat training.
Time passes, this encounter is complete. Okay. Fuck it, let's go back to the mines.
Right, and then we just do the mine bit. So it's now 5. It's now 5. We're in the evening, which means that the bars are now open.
Sure. But we've decided to go off and do the mine, right?
Yeah.
We're committed to this.
We've done it.
We definitely don't want to go to bars.
Well, we might as well do this.
We might as well do this?
Yeah. You recall the map Fiora showed you, and you follow the river's edge to the thicket of brambles. Sliding between the rock face of the ravine and the hazardous thorns, you come across the concealed tunnel you were told about, a narrow and dark passage that falls deep into the stone. Sealing yourself for the journey, you light a lantern and carefully climb down into the darkness. The passage twists along, rough walls speaking clearly of its emergency nature, and you pick your way along gingerly, careful to keep your light low. Finally, you come to the point where the passage joins the main hallway, though the opening between the two passages is no more than the gap in the rock beside a wooden support beam. You are about to squeeze through when you hear approaching footsteps and the voices of 2 goblins, idly jabbering with one another as they patrol. Sorry. Now, you have 2 options. Ambush the patrolling goblins. This does not exhaust your activation token, or hide until the patrol is clear. What are we going to do? Fight or hide? Fighting's going to make a lot of noise.
Yeah, I think hiding is probably more prudent.
5, 3, 1, 7.
I think we just need to get to that goblin leader and take him out, right?
Hopefully it'll be like that, because that's how it works in most fantasy settings, is you kill the leader and the rest of them just give up.
What do we say, 5317?
5, 3, 1, 7.
Okay, well, while I find that, I'm afraid that's all we've got time for today. But we'll be back tomorrow to find out what happens when we hide from the goblin patrol and infiltrate the silver mines and resolve this problem.
On the plus side, we won't be knocking on any more tavern doors for a while.
But we will be checking out the taverns probably after we're done in the mines. So make sure you come back and join us for that.
See you soon.
Thanks for watching, everyone.
Bye.